Today, we review the new film, 10 Things I Hate About Goo, and find out why Tom Hardy talks to himself late at night. That and more on this episode of The Real Review. So stay tuned.
Welcome to The Real Review.
Welcome to The Real Review, sponsored by Parametric and Lazy Ape Studios, where you get some of the latest happenings, real thoughts, and perspectives in the world of film and television. I am with Matt Seafood Diet Hey.
Hey-o.
Because you seafood and you eat it.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
You kind of, I mean, not to be rude, but every time I see you that there's food around, you pretty much occupy that space.
Yeah.
Until that food is no longer around.
I feel like it's I feel like that's inherent of like if there's just food lying around, you gotta eat it.
You gotta eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what food is there for.
Right.
So why not eat it?
That's its purpose. I'm just fulfilling its purpose.
That's good. You're helping it.
I am.
They'll make a Pixar movie one day about food and its purpose, and you're fulfilling it. They already made a really bad version of that. What was the one with the
sausage party?
Yeah, that was so bad. Yeah. Anyway, who am I, Matt?
Everybody. I'm here with Joel is not a loser on his home planet, Cunningham.
Oh.
See what I did there?
Thank you.
As opposed to Venom.
I appreciate that. Yeah. That was such a random, I don't know if that's canon.
Like, I don't know anything about Venom other than what he looks like, and he's attached to Spider-Man somehow.
Gotcha.
So whatever.
I mean, I know that like Venom became such a popular thing through the Spider-Man series that he had a spin-off and Venom and Carnage and
right.
But I don't know if he was like ever brought up as being this like loserly character on his own planet.
Yeah, I don't know.
For some reason. Because I don't know. Future films.
We'll get into that.
First of all, Matt, why don't you give our listeners some ways to get connected? I want to talk about the show a little bit. If you want to do that, you can do that too, if you want.
Yeah, getting connected. You can do that. Number of different ways. Main way, through our website, realreviewmedia.com. You can connect to all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Real Review Media, and youtube.com/The Real Review. Email us at realreviewmedia@gmail.com. Let us know what's up if you thought you liked one of the movies that maybe we didn't like, or maybe didn't like one of the movies that we liked. You know, one of those things.
It's perfect.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Email us. Do that sort of a thing. And general rundown of the show. Why don't you break it down for me?
Sure. So the show kind of works. We have our two perspectives here. Matt tends to be a bit more of the fan type perspective, whereas I tend to be more of the critic perspective. And we put those together to give you what we think is a real thought and perspective. I'm burping. Wow. Holy cow.
A real thought. No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very Venom-esque type move there.
Yeah.
Just embracing the character from the film. And we give you what we think are real thoughts and perspectives. And we like to say that, Matt and I are still learning and growing more in our knowledge of film and media. And so we're inviting you to join us for this journey as we learn and grow. And it's a never-ending journey.
It's a never-ending story.
So join us for this never-ending journey. That's exciting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. People love to join for something that never ends, right?
Yes, exactly.
Something
never-ending
fun. Story. Yeah, as long as it's fun.
Atreyu. Yep.
Anyways, today we're going to be talking about one film that both of us had a chance to see. I know we were both trying to get out to see at least A Star Is Born.
I know. I really wanted to see that, but this one just actually worked out better with my schedule.
Yeah, that was the other big release this year, or this weekend.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, first directing outing.
Coops.
And Lady Gaga.
Stephanie.
Yes, Stephanie. But hopefully we'll have a chance to talk about that in a future episode. For now, let's get into what film we did get a chance to see, Venom. Real brief description for this film for you. Let me pull it up. When Eddie Brock acquires the power of a symbiote, he will have to release his alter ego Venom to save his life. That's, again, a very...
I don't even know if it's accurate.
I don't think
I don't think it's accurate, actually, after watching the movie. It's not a good synopsis.
No, that's really not a great one. But it's directed by Ruben Fleischer. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. It stars Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock Venom, Michelle Williams as his slight love interest of sorts, Annie Wang, Riz Ahmed as Carlton Drake, who's kind of the main protagonist of the film. I'm sorry, antagonist of the film.
Yep.
Reed Scott as Patrick, Jenny Slate as a doctor, and Woody Harrelson as a cameo appearance.
Yep.
Is what I will say, which that was pretty. I don't know if I'm spoiling anything with that, but
No,
I'm not
it's
going to say
cameo.
what he was doing. But yeah, did you want to do any spoiler talk with this?
I don't really. No.
Not really.
That's okay.
Cool. Well, then why don't we start with your perspective on it?
Yeah.
I've got my own. I want to
Cool.
hear yours.
I thought it was okay.
Okay.
Um,
Thanks for the review.
I
Matt.
was kind of it's okay. Thanks, guys. Tune in next episode. That was okay. There was things that I really liked about it, and I see this all over the place, and I have to agree. I think it's the main highlight of the movie. If there is to be a highlight, it's Woody Harrelson and Venom interacting with each other.
Yeah.
I like that. I thought that was perfectly great. I just wanted to see more of it, and there wasn't as much.
Woody Harrelson in Venom?
Sorry, not Woody Harrelson.
I was like, what?
Sorry, Tom Hardy
My
in
eyes were
Venom.
closed.
My bad.
No worries.
Yeah. So, there was a lot of interactions right when they first happened. You see this in the trailer too. There's it's like almost that like Upgrade in the movie Upgrade with Stem, where he's like, "What is that? What is this?" and figuring out what's inside his head and all that stuff. That stuff is fun. Actually, my favorite scene, it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, is when Tom Hardy first sees Venom like appear like to him in like his bathroom mirror.
His reflection, yeah.
and it jars him, and it throws him back into the wall, knocks him out, but he doesn't make like a yell. He goes, "Ah!" and like runs into the wall. I thought
Sorry,
it was so funny.
Yeah.
I was laughing hysterically in the theater when that happened. I was like, that's good. I know, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. I love that part.
I wasn't sorry to interrupt, but I wasn't too sure how I felt about Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't
You
really
like
know.
Topher Grace?
Yes, much better. No, the big thing about it was it didn't really. At the start of the film, he's kind of portraying this like bad boy, does what he needs to do to get the story, guy that's just like screw the world, I don't care.
Yeah.
Then he quickly becomes this like almost supplicant with Venom, where he's like, I don't want to like. Oh,
He's a broken man, Joel.
Yeah,
he's a broken man. He went from hero to zero real quick.
He did.
Yeah.
He just dropped the bottom out of that scale, little Matt. I didn't really get that. I didn't really like that.
Oh, okay.
I kind of wanted a bit more of a back and forth between him and Venom.
I don't know. See, I don't know enough about the lore of Eddie Brock, Venom, and all that stuff. There's a lot of like weird things. So overall, again, going back with that, I thought it was okay. There was some stuff I liked, and a lot of stuff that was like weird editing choices.
Yeah. Quick cuts. There's a lot of quick cuts.
The movie,
to me, which made
I basically gave you what I liked the most about it. There was a couple of scenes with Venom that looked really cool. Even one with Riot, which is the name of the like main bad symbiote. And there was one there I was like, that's kind of cool, but for the most part, this movie was just kind of like average to me. It felt like a movie from 10 years ago kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the stuff when it kind of I guess, what were some of the highlights before I get into all the negative stuff for you? Highlights.
It's hard to say. I think there wasn't any standout aspect to this that really felt like all the way through it had staying power. Every character that was in it kind of at some point either fell flat or just got really weird to me. Special effects at times were good, but then other times I was
not good.
Yeah, not
There was some
great
weird
at all.
green screen stuff too.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
So I was like, that was really hit or miss. There was story elements that were kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like I thought the start of the film was fine.
Yeah.
I thought the beginning of the film was interesting and engaging. It reminded me of like Alien.
Yeah.
You have that long sort of space shot.
Yo, do you remember? Okay, so they work for the Life Foundation. That's like the name of the company.
Yeah.
And the first thing that happens in this movie is, actually, it's a spoiler. Anyways, so at the end of the movie Life, you remember Life?
I do. Yeah.
It's
It
like the end of
ties
that
in
movie.
exactly.
It could have been exactly that.
Tied in. Exactly.
It could have been the prequel that everybody thought it was. For a minute.
This giant octopus thing comes on Earth. I didn't really get. I mean, the main antagonist we have, Carlton Drake Riot. I didn't really get what his draw was. He had this idea. It's like they presented this idea that he was this humanitarian that was really trying to do awesome things, and that's the message that they really pushed continually.
Yeah.
And then you get like little cracks and inklings of like, okay, maybe there's some deeper underlying issues there.
He's super nefarious.
Nefarious, self-centered.
Yeah.
He just ends justify the means type of stuff. but he legitimately was doing this for, I think, what he thought was good reasons. Like he
Right.
legitimately was trying to really help humanity out by figuring out these ways of improving the weakness of the human body and moving
Killing
on to other
homeless
planets
people.
and killing homeless people. And once again, they're running with this theme that we've gotten with Predator and this one now, which is
Right.
the world's dying.
Yeah,
It's the whole, the end
Kind
because
of
of the
throwaway
environment.
lines, though, like
Right.
throwaway lines.
But I'm like, again, that's such a
So-
a one-off reason to just go in this random direction.
negatives
So,
with
yeah.
this. I think a lot of the problems is the scripting.
Yeah.
I'd say that
I didn't like the casting either, to be honest.
Yeah,
Not
so
gonna lie.
Michelle Williams was the toughest one for me.
Oh, she was tough. Yeah.
I did not think that was a good role for her. Her lines were atrocious. This isn't her fault. I think Michelle Williams is a great actress, but I think that it could have been a different cast, a different writer. I don't know. There's a lot of really bad dialogue in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Like a turd rolling,
yeah,
blown
oh my
away in the
gosh.
wind or whatever that was. That was so bad.
Anyways, so that the CG was good sometimes, bad other times. Nothing memorable. I think that's the thing too. Is like I don't remember anything about it other than like the one scene that I laughed. I thought that was funny.
Nothing with the action scenes was really all
It
that
was
interesting to me.
weirdly edited. It was like from one scene to another without like it wasn't even like. It felt like it was rushed.
Yeah.
And we know that there was a lot of production issues with this movie, reshoots and all this stuff, but the editing felt sloppy.
It
to
really
me.
felt sloppy. It felt untight, but it felt way too fast.
And I told my dad this. I went with him, and he and there's several scenes in the movie where it'd be in one scene, the camera would be on a character, it'd pan away, come back, and then all the background actors were gone.
Yeah.
In the one scene, and then the next scene they're all back again.
Yeah.
And they're just bad editing. And
There's
the continuity was off.
Yeah.
And
There's
the
certain
timelines, it
rules
was
to
weird.
how you progress through a scene with different insert shots and close-up shots, and leaving those for a certain amount of time to give breathing room to allow for certain things to register for the right amount of time.
Yeah.
And it felt like there was no sense of that pacing there.
Right.
And there's no sense of the progress to the scene. You could feel the editing.
Yeah.
And that's never a good sign when you're noticing shots being cut and moving from different things. That's because you want it to naturally flow. That's good editing.
Yeah.
It just, you don't even almost notice it in a way, but it's just so on beat and perfect.
Yeah.
And there was no sense to that. So yeah, additionally, what I mentioned, the fight scenes were boring. For a fact, to me, I knew for a fact going into this that they're not going to kill Tom Hardy.
Right.
They're not going to kill Venom.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anybody else around that I realistically wanted to survive that was in danger of being killed, because Michelle Williams, she was such a flat character to me. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So there was no stakes. There
Yeah.
was no, it was I'm just kind of watching Venom go from one thing to another. And it never really made sense what Venom's path was. What was he trying to accomplish? Where was he trying to go? You know what I mean? And he's such an integral part to the, I know that sounds silly because he's this space, thing, but he's such an integral part to the story.
Yeah.
That relationship that he had with Tom Hardy wasn't strong enough to really make that an interesting character.
Yeah, it was just basically he's like, I like you.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. I'm not popular. I'm not. Let me tell you, my friends all make fun of me. They used to throw me around in the schoolyard.
Oh my god.
One time I tried to eat this guy's head. He wouldn't let me. It was really sad. It's it's poor Venom. Whoa. It's sad. They need to do a spin-off. It's sad Venom. Okay, I guess I'll just go eat these dead lobsters.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Tom Hardy. I think he's the guy I liked in this movie.
I mean,
if
even
I had
the-
to stick to a character.
I'm spoiling a little bit. Even the part where Venom, they're confronting Brock about Michelle Williams and her boyfriend are confronting him, or was it that they're confronting him about the fact that he's hurting Eddie. And Venom's like, no, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that
I
at
can
all.
fix that.
I can fix that. It's who is Venom right now? He's like, it's okay, guys, really. Oh, it's he's just
So,
sweeping it under the rug.
There's
It's
a lot
what
of
the-
there's a lot of Venom fans that
Yeah.
thought it was pretty good. So here's a weird thing about this movie.
Okay.
This movie, so many production issues, right? And then you have something when it's released, the critics are hating on this movie right now. It's got
It's a 38, I think.
30%.
30%. Wow, it's gone down.
Here's the other thing with that. on the high side when this movie was it's got an 89% audience score.
Wow.
And when this movie was predicted to come out, they were like, oh, on the high side, this movie domestically is going to make $40 million. And then people were tracking like, oh, it's going to make $50 million. And people are like, wow, that'd be a really amazing thing for Venom. And then this weekend, it makes $80 million.
Wow.
And it shattered expectations. It's the highest opening for an October film so far. We'll see how Halloween does. I have a feeling that's going to crush it, actually.
Wow.
And
kind of makes me sad.
And at the same time, though, what's going to happen is it's made 200 worldwide, 200 million, and that's doubled its production budget. So you know a sequel is going to happen.
Yeah.
Regardless of the quality of the film. I hope that they learn a lot. I hope that they've learned a lot and that they might, because the sequel's going to happen. I'm going to be optimistic about it. That's going to be good.
This was, to me, it was a slightly more lighthearted version of a DC film. That's really what this felt like to me. I could have absolutely seen DC making this. I feel like I don't know why it's. What's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. I would really love to hear people's perspectives, though. Maybe we're missing something.
I didn't hate this movie. Let me clarify that.
I didn't hate it. I literally almost fell asleep like 3 or 4 times.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I was fighting off because there was nothing to connect into.
There's a lot of lore and continuity issues too. Like my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding of Venom, he got his look initially because he had initially attached to Spider-Man.
Right. That's where he originally comes from. I don't know what.
Well, he came from space.
Right. His iteration was originally,
but like the eyes and all that stuff.
Well, they had the iteration in the original. The original story of Venom was in the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
The third one, Spider-Man 3.
Well, because Eddie Brock was dating
Gwen Stacy.
MJ. Right.
MJ?
In the film, I believe in that film at least, he was dating MJ.
I've only seen that movie
and
like once
he
or
goes
twice.
he goes to space, and then he gets attached to by the Venom thing, and he ends up coming back, and he's an antagonist in the original iteration, I believe.
You're talking about the comics.
The original iteration of Venom. And then he became such a popular character that they kind of, I think, did a bit of a retcon and brought him back in as his own standoff, and that's where you get Carnage and kind of the whole slate of all the different
symbiotes.
Symbiotes, exactly. I don't know that for sure. I haven't looked into it. I could probably figure that out in 5
I don't know
minutes,
any of that stuff. But anyways, I thought this movie was just okay. It was just messy to me. I felt like it could have been definitely a tighter ship. Yeah,
my point in presenting all that is that there needs, like, if you're gonna bring him out of a universe that he's already been substantiated and he has connections to, you need to have, like, there needs to be a purpose and a reason for him existing. And as of yet, it really just, everything felt like a byproduct of just, well, we need to present Venom, and he's, how can a lady wander around for 6 months with one of those things attached to her?
Right. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. That was a weird thing.
There was stuff like that that's going on.
Weird continuity things in it, but I don't know. You got to score for this thing.
Yeah, I'm giving it maybe higher than it probably deserves, but I'm giving it a 69.
Oh, okay.
It's a D+.
It's not too bad. I'm actually around 73. 72, 73. So C- area. It's not bad. I found some enjoyment in it. It's just kind of a messy movie.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think I laughed. I might have chuckled once or twice. Yeah.
But it was like, what?
I never laughed at the parts that
so good.
Were probably parts that they wanted you to laugh at. I laughed at the part where he was, and I'm just going to spoil it kind of, it's in the trailer, but like the part where he's in the machine.
Yeah.
I forget whatever they're doing, the MRI machine.
Yeah.
That was so goofy and silly.
It?
The way his face was going like, blah, 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 like changing. I'm going to go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that was in the trailer. I don't know. It didn't seem goofy to me.
It just seemed really, there was like 3 or 4 different scenes that just really came across as silly to me. And
I gotcha.
So, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what to think about a sequel. I know that's inevitable.
It's going to happen.
They should call it Venom Inevitable.
Yeah.
The sequel name. But yeah, I hope they really just play up the whole Venom, like, well, I was made fun of as a kid. They used to give me wedgies on the playground. I really hope they just play that up, like he's this poor little...
Oh my gosh.
Oh, run away. They're picking on me again.
He's like, I'm a loser on my planet.
Yeah, stop throwing rocks at me. I really hope they just play that. It's like depressed, sad Venom. Yeah, that'd be funny.
Sad Venom.
Anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up on the podcast.
Yep.
Again, some reminders, some ways to get connected to us. RealReviewMedia.com, RealReviewMedia.com/ or Facebook.com/RealReviewMedia, rather.
Yep.
Check us out on both of those places. Give us a follow. And additionally, we have our Instagram and Twitter, which are both at Real Review Media. And then additionally, we would love to hear your thoughts and perspectives on this film.
Yeah.
Any other film, particularly because there's so many people that are just loving this.
Yeah.
Love to hear why people are liking it as much as they are. Shoot us an email, realreviewmedia@gmail.com. And give us a like. Again, reminder on iTunes
Totes.
and on Spotify now.
Yep.
Spotify. We'd love to get a review from you there.
Perfect.
So, awesome. Anything else, Matt?
No, that's it.
All right. It's been real.
It's been real.